Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode for this year's World Ocean Day 2021. And as you might know, the theme is the ocean, life, and livelihoods. Now, to celebrate this theme, the Fabien Cousteau Ocean Learning Center and the Proteus Ocean Group have decided to highlight the local community in Curacao by taking a closer look at the locals' perspective and relationship to the ocean. With this web series, which is called The Human Ocean Connection, Thoughts and Conversations with the Local Curaçaoan Community, hosted by yours truly, Fabien Cousteau, we hope to shed some light on the wonder of the ocean and to see how it is that it is a life source for them. Now, we want to also get the local perspective from folks who are living and working on this beautiful, rich, biodiverse Caribbean island nation of Curacao. Now, in full disclosure, the Fabien Cousteau Ocean Learning Center, which is a 501c3, and Proteus Ocean Group both have projects that are aimed to be located in Curacao because it's such a unique island in the Caribbean. We're building, for example, the International Space Station of the Sea, which is going to focus on advanced research under the water, as well as being a broadcast medium so that we can bring back those beautiful stories of the ocean to those who may never get a chance to see it. And for the Ocean Learning Center's behalf, we're going to have programs that are aimed at education and empowerment for visitors as well as the local community so that we may be able to elevate the voice of the local community through all of our initiatives. Now, with this said, I'd like to introduce someone who's very special, Dhaishendra Sarvania, who is a first-year master's student in marine biology for both freshwater and the ocean. I'm really excited to hear a little bit about your journey, Dhaishendra. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. So, as Fabien said, my name is Dhaishendra Sarvania, and I'm currently 22 years old, and I'm a first-year student for freshwater and marine biology master's in Amsterdam at the University of Amsterdam. And well, my experience with the ocean, why I came to do this master's, is because well, it's really simple actually. So my family, my grandpa has a fisherman's house on Curacao at Corredor, and we always used to have every family gathering there. So we naturally swam with all the children, things like that. And my uncle and my brother are really interested in fishing, so they're always fishing there. And we also regularly go to Bonaire with the boat, with the fisherman's boat. And then, yeah, on the way, they just also fish. So, yeah, you can say that the ocean has had a really big influence on me. But the funny thing is that I used to be scared of the ocean. So it's really a bit contradictory.
You used to be scared of the ocean, but yet you're now becoming a marine biologist.
Yeah, yeah. It's
So,
really funny because I always thought that like fish would attack me, things like that.
so is it fair to say that your family kind of inspired you to peek below the blue veneer? And would that have instigated you to learn more about the ocean and now becoming a professional on the ocean itself?
Yeah, for sure. Because right now my brother is also doing a study to become yeah, how do you say, a sailor. And so yeah, it's actually a little bit in the family because they always used to fish. I saw the fish getting caught, and then I would feel bad for the fish. So that also like gave me another perspective in just that the marine animals also have yeah feelings, you can say, in a broad sense, but they can also feel things. And yes, one time I just looked into one of those fish's eyes, and I could really see him like basically, yeah, I was I think 10 or something, but the I thought that the fish was actually like asking me for help the moment that I looked into his eyes. So yeah, It's been a really intense experience. But the thing that also inspired me to follow like the marine biology courses are that one time at the school I had to look up yeah, online workshops and TED Talks about whatever subject I would want to. And the first one that I saw was one about brown fish in the Netherlands. And I found this so interesting. And just because you don't regularly hear research or just you don't get information about marine animals that much. So that really piqued my interest. And since then, I started reading up on it. And I also went to work at a dive shop on Curacao. And since working there, I also got the opportunity to dive sometimes. And there, I also got my PADI certificate. But the first time that I dove, it was a really other experience. So I really liked it. It was just coming into another realm. And
So
that
the
was really,
fear
really
was gone. The fear was that disappeared, and you became free to fly underwater to experience this alien world.
yes, yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, yeah. And all the things that you can see, because normally at Curacao, yeah, you go to the beaches and you swim and you snorkel a little bit, but not everyone has had the chance to scuba dive. And that's what something that I really recommend people doing, because then you can just experience the aquatic realm in a different sense.
So, on that vein, to you, what does the human ocean connection mean?
Well, for me, the human ocean connection, it's really broad, but also really specific because you will have to look at it for yourself. Like it's just subjective to everyone. But I do think that living on an island, being surrounded by water 24/7, like you just, even if you don't want to, you will get influenced by the ocean directly or indirectly. And yeah, it's just how you view the ocean because most of the people on Curacao they only see the ocean as like, oh yeah, beaches, so swimming opportunity, recreational opportunities, but it's also our livelihood here. So fishermen, tourism, things like that. So it's really a big influence on the island.
I've had the opportunity to travel in various parts of the world for many years. And what astounds me is that Curacao in the Caribbean, especially in light of what we're facing, is still this bastion of beauty. And yet, there's a lot of work that's being done by Karmabi and visitors, visiting scientists, but we know so very little comparatively about the Curaçaoan ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem, versus a lot of the other islands in the Caribbean. Is this a place that you would consider coming back and studying as a marine biologist?
Yeah, of course. So my focus, I really want to go in the conservation side, just because for I feel like there's not enough conservation focus on aquatic realm, uh, and especially because yeah, like I said, Curaçao's livelihood is based on the fishermen, on the ecotourism. So I think that it would be really important for us to conserve our fish stocks, to conserve the yeah coral reefs, things like that, so we can just admire this beauty uh, in like 30 years or so still.
Your voice, yeah, that's a great point because your voice for conservation would be imperative, especially when we look 10 to 20 years down the road, down the in future history, as far as where Curacao is going and how one may be able to imagine, the development of tourism, for example, and yet taking the pressure off of the coral reef ecosystem, which already has all the pressures we all discussed. Um, how in your opinion, how do you see, or what do you see are some of the most pressing ocean related issues and challenges in Curacao?
So right now, it's just for me, I think it's the biggest ones are pollution. So whether it be plastic pollution or chemical, because you see that like I read a lot of studies that have been conducted on Curacao, and you also see that eutrophication is a really big problem because that affects the seagrass beds on around Curacao. So it also affects the nurseries, and then to its extension, the fish stock. So you can't see it as like a closed system. That's what I like about nature. You have to see it as an open system, which one action can lead to another consequence. And that's what people really should take into consideration, because yeah, if you throw your plastic cup away at the beach and you see it going with the wind towards the ocean, why wouldn't you want to conserve it? Well, I think that because people don't have enough awareness about this, about how much the ocean, how important the ocean is for us, not even for the world, just looking at Curacao itself, for us, the ocean is really important. And if we just minimize this pollution, all the pollution that we're doing, like wastewater, plastics, and stuff like that, then we can just, yeah, give our livelihood a boost, actually.
That's a great point. As a matter of fact, the action and consequence, or the fact that what you do to the ocean ends up affecting you and your family. It's something that I've been talking about for decades. But what might be very poignant is, would education of the local community and the understanding that their actions have a direct effect on the future, would that be one of the approaches that could help energize the local community to have better conservation practices? And would that be something that you would tackle in Curacao?
Yeah, yeah. So as I said, I really want to go in the conservation side, but also in the educational side, because my backup plan is to also follow my teaching degree. But I think it's really important to educate people in what they're doing. And on Curacao, it's a point to educate them in the proper manner. So you would have to just be approachable to the community and just tell them how the situation is, but at a level which everyone can understand. Because if we talk like this, then I can use words like just how do you say that? So words that just have scientific words, let me say that, and then we would both understand it. But not everyone in the world or just on Curacao understands that. And then I think it's really important to just give them the education that they deserve in order to understand how important the ocean is for us.
Now, as a visitor to Curacao, um, how can I, or someone like myself, when I come visit and enjoy the culture, the beautiful foods, the beautiful island itself, how can I participate in learning more about the fragility of the area and leaving Curacao in a better state than I found it? How can I participate in this?
Yeah, so as a visitor, I think you would have to be cautious about the fact that you are still visiting this island, and you would have to treat it as if it was someone's house. You wouldn't come in and just pollute it. So you would have to know that, oh, if I throw this away and it just goes with the wind, maybe I should go after it. Maybe I should properly dispose of things. But also, I think it's important for people that come and visit to also look at the depth of the island, so its history, and also, yeah, the ocean history. So just go on tours that actually give a clear view of how the ecosystem is, how do you say, intertwined with each other here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tourism definitely sounds like it plays a major role in the future of Curacao, and visitors themselves. I would imagine I would want to be able to bring my daughter back to Curacao and show the beauty of Curacao the way I've found it the first time,
Yeah.
right? And so we are all responsible for making sure that can happen, whether we're residents or visitors, tourists.
Yeah.
So um, I love Curacao. I can't wait to come back, if you'll have me.
Of course.
And I'd love to see what your perspective is. for Curacao, how do you feel Curacao, what do you see for Curacao in the next 10 to 20 years?
Uh, right now, I think it's going in a better direction than it would have been going like 10 years ago, because we are more aware of the dangers that we have, yeah, the dangers that the economy faces related to just nature itself. Because, yeah, on Curacao, we also have the Cristofel Park, things like that, but also the ocean. So we do have a little bit more perspective in how important the mangroves are, for example. So I think with more awareness about these things, then the society will also get a bit more uh, involved in the processes that are taking place. Because just to give an example, a few years ago, the government wanted to put a highway between the mangroves, but they got so much pushback from society and from scientists, just telling them, educating them, the government, on how important our mangroves are for us. And then this project didn't go through. So things like that. The more awareness we bring, the better it will get.
That's fantastic, and I wish for that to continue to happen, because Curacao is becoming a rarefied island in the Caribbean, where the ecosystem is still healthy. There's still a moment in time now where the decisions of today will impact the long-term trajectory of Curacao, will help shape its soul, its future for the future. And you can see examples of other island nations in the Caribbean that have taken certain decisions in the past, and either they're reaping the benefits or the repercussions, depending on what those decisions were.
Yeah, and Curacao has also the benefit that we are not in the hurricane belt, so all our coral reefs and all our nature, it's just pretty much conserved in natural ways. But we do have to maintain this by not giving too much anthropogenic influences to it.
For sure. Well, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what you will be doing in the next few years once you graduate. And I can't wait to meet you down there, and maybe we'll go diving together. We'll see some of the weird and scary fish.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have an uncle that's also a dive instructor, and every time we go diving, he just goes up to the baby eels and he pets them. So I think that's really fun to watch.
That's awesome. So does your whole family dive?
No. So right now I have my diving certificate. My uncle has it. My oldest brother also has his, but my other brother, he has well, he just free dives. He used to spearfish when it was still a little bit legal, and then I think that's it actually.
This is actually an interesting question. You know, you were talking about conservation earlier, and you come from a family of fishermen, as do many people in Curacao, at least local people. And so, Mike, how does one, and you know, you becoming a marine biologist, how does one provide jobs for people who depend on fishing, while leaving the ecosystem intact? Is it a question of finding certain fish farming practices or something like this that they can transition in, or how do we work with this? Because at the end of the day, we have to address the root cause of environmental pressure, so that everyone can enjoy the ecosystem, and the ecosystem can stay healthy.
Yeah. So one of my uncles, he just fishes, and the other ones sell the fish. So like jobs like this also just give them the family of fishermen a little bit livelihood, because we have just random fish stands on at the side of the road, things like that. So you can always buy your fresh fish.
And some delicious ones, by the way.
Yeah,
I've had some delicious food on those fish stands.
yeah. Well, so I do think it's important indeed to just tackle the root of this problem, and that would be just being uh, tackle the eutrophication issues, tackling the pollution, the plastic pollution, because then you will also increase the nurseries, you will increase the fish stock, and then more fishermen can fish, because you also see a lot of fishermen just, yeah, basically giving up because the fish stocks are so poor now on Curacao, or just they're declining. So you don't get a livelihood from this, and their focus will shift towards other factors in the economy. So I think
Would
it's just the root of the problem. Yeah.
would a fish farm, let's say properly done, be something that could be interesting to provide jobs for these people?
Uh, it's a little bit difficult to say, because the key word in what you asked is properly done, because
Yeah,
fish farms are really, really, yeah, it's just hard to maintain, and
yeah.
especially if it's a monoculture. So you would
But
actually have to really consider every factor that you work into it.
like a closed system, land-based polyculture, advanced practices with the entire trophic system
Yeah,
integrated.
that's important. The entire trophic system. Yeah, because like for me, in the Netherlands, in my aquarium at home, I have guppies, but I also have snails and I have plants. So it's a real ecosystem in itself, and that's what I think is really important. You would have to incorporate all the trophic interactions. Yeah, yeah.
Well, if anyone could make this happen, I'm sure you can.
I really hope so.
Well, this is fantastic. I don't know if we've missed anything, but if is there something that we've missed that you'd like to talk about?
uh, no, not really. And I think we will have more conversation. I hope we will have more conversations about this. So I think it will be mentioned in the future.
This is a great point. It's so important to have these conversations amongst ourselves, especially with people like yourself who are experts in the field,
Yeah.
to be able to, and it comes much better from you who live on Curacao, who grew up in Curacao, than outsiders. So for you to be able to share your stories and your knowledge with others around you is very powerful. So I
Yeah.
thank you for doing that. And I look forward to your generation being better stewards of our planet than my generation has been.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's what we're working towards.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed thoroughly our conversation. I can't wait to go scuba diving with you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Happy World Ocean Day.
Thank you. You too.
Well, thank you all so very much for listening to us, participating in this, and of course, being a part of this wonderful journey for World Ocean Day 2021. We hope that you've enjoyed hearing a little bit of the personal stories of the real human ocean connections and how the ocean has had an impact on people's lives every day, especially on the beautiful island of Curacao. Now, if there's something that we all need to remember, is that without an ocean, there is no life. Without a healthy ocean, there is no healthy future. So treat the ocean as if your lives depended on it, because it does. Next time you go and visit an island like Curacao, leave it in a better state than you found it. Enjoy the beautiful culture, the beautiful nature, and relax and have a great time. People will protect what they love. On behalf of the ocean, this is Fabien Cousteau signing off. Thank you all very much.